Now that bombshell lawsuit against Lizzo, three
has been accused of sexual harassment by 3 former dancers.
She would absolutely never. That's the response from Lizzo.
She's called the past few days gut-wrenchingly difficult and overwhelmingly disappointing, denying claims she weight-shamed, sexually harassed and created a hostile environment for her workers. But the dancers who filed the lawsuit are standing by their accusations.
Was I pressured to touch a nude performer? Yes. Was I brought into a private meeting where I was kind of interrogated regarding my weight? Yes. The list goes on.
There was like this always looming feeling of thinking that if you didn't do something or you didn't adhere to certain suggestions or demands that your job could be in jeopardy.
She then got physical. She basically raised up her fists. She was like balling her knuckles and she's like, "You're so effing lucky," alluding to, "You're lucky I'm not gonna hit you." While then she's yelling all these different names and things, and you know, it was scary and it was shocking.
The singer, a feminist icon who found fame calling out bullies and championing body positivity and empowerment.
I know it's alarming to hear that Lizzo, a plus-size woman who preaches body positivity, would be fat-phobic, essentially. But I want to challenge people to understand that hurt people hurt people.
In the weeks since the claims were made, almost 220,000 of her Instagram fans have hit unfollow.
Obviously, the backlash on social media and from fans has been pretty fierce, and you would expect that because these allegations are very, very serious.
But some are questioning whether Lizzo has copped unfair backlash precisely because of who she is and what she stands for.
Some of you also already hated Lizzo. Some of you hated that this was a black woman. Some of you hated that this was a fat black woman. And a lot of you hated that this was a confident fat black woman. And some of you use these allegations as an excuse to justify your hate that you already had for her.
Others saying the dancers weren't up to the grueling nature of touring with a Grammy award-winning pop star.
What takes this to another level is the claims of sexual harassment and being forced to do things that you don't want to do. That is something that's really dangerous.
You think her career can survive this?
Well, I don't think a white male performer would survive that. They'd be out of a job already. Who knows whether these allegations are correct or not, but why else would those women make those allegations? I mean...
Yeah, but you've got to be careful, right, because we've seen... This is the lesson we sort of refuse to learn. Like, there's allegations made and we jump in and we start doing commentary.
Yep. And
then later a court reaches a decision and we go, oh, what do we do now? Like, maybe it'd be better off if we didn't end up in making that mistake, right? I think what is clear is, though, that where you become an icon of a certain virtue, irrespective of these allegations or what becomes of them, there just always seems to be a moment where that comes,
kind of similar to the Ellen debacle that we saw. She kind of, you know, she was the queen of nice. Yeah. And then when rumours and allegations of her being a nightmare behind the scenes started surfacing, people were really affronted by that when you kind of build your brand on that authenticity and then something comes up to kind of perhaps question that.
But it's interesting what Waleed says. I mean, you default to the accusers always, most often, don't you?
Well, I think
and you don't have that discussion then about whether Lizzo has done anything right or wrong. We just tend to believe the accusers.
But increasingly, I think what's happening is people are, whether they default to the accusers or not depends on their pre-existing politics.
Yeah.
They go, is this a person I want to defend? Do they fit in the boxes that I want to defend or not? And then we jump in. And that's just backwards. That's just the wrong way to approach these things. So it would be fascinating to see it.
Put it in the vault. We'll have a look when the result comes out.